What is up, Scorpio? How are you all doing? It's time for your bonus reading for February 2024. I do have an announcement to make. First, you know what to do if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. All the information is down in the description box of this video. But I finally released my new course, the part 2 of how to read the tarot. It's the intuitive guide. For those of you who purchased the first tarot reading course in my school, check your email. You were emailed a special code that you can use to get 15% off of the part 2. So yeah, this I think is the most important course that you could utilize when it comes to how to read the tarot, because the first one mainly focused around the meanings of each card. And honestly, the meaning of the card is like 25% of the tarot reading experience. And I am being generous when I say that. You don't know how many readers I've met who are insanely good at what they do, and they don't know the first textbook meaning of any of the cards. So that's why I made a course dedicated to the intuitive guide, how to actually relax and develop your own style and connect with your audience or your client, connect with the deck, connect with yourself, and allow the intuitive messages to come through. And it's pretty cool, man. So the link for that is in the description of this video. You can also find it on my website along with the personal readings, tarotwithrich.com. All that information is down in the description. All right, let's jump on into this here. Let's jump on in. So I'm starting this off with your love interest. Oh, the Sun card reverse jumped out there. I'm going to put it back in the deck because I didn't even have time to put an intention into that yet. Your love interest. This is mainly geared towards the singles. You don't have to be, but all right, let's see. Any details I missed? Any details I missed in the main monthly reading that Scorpio needs to hear about the person on their mind? 6 of Swords. I think, pretty sure this is what came through last time, right? Kind of tells me that you're moving on from this situation, that you're choosing to put this behind you for some reason. King of Swords, it just doesn't really seem like this person cares or has feelings for you. It doesn't seem like it. Could be an air sign for some of you. Oh, you and this person do have a soul contract, though. You absolutely do. For some of you, it could have turned sexual and just never moved past a sex-based connection for some of you. But whether you've been intimate with this person or not, it kind of seems like that's really all they care about is a sex-based connection. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it just kind of seems like that's the impression that you're getting, is that it just doesn't really seem like this person cares. So you're transitioning away from this. You're tired of the burden that this is putting on your back. I've been getting a very similar message for the majority of the singles readings in February. Very similar for a lot of the signs. There's only a couple of signs that, actually have somewhat of a positive outcome with the person they're interested in. But yeah, it could be a Capricorn for some of you. I also have Aries here. Okay, well, we're going to have to see how this person feels about you. Let's see if you're right about that. Do they actually have feelings for you that they're just too afraid to admit? Or what's going on? Why does this person seem to not really care? What's going on with this person? What's their energy look like? Ooh, 6 of Cups reverse. They still haven't healed from the last time they were burned. Okay. Oh, but the King of Cups, see, they do have feelings for you. Yeah, they do. Maybe they just don't really feel like they're worthy. They don't feel like they're good enough. 2 of Cups. Man, they do have feelings for you. They are interested in you. Yeah, they do. They were just burned so badly in the past. Maybe they're just afraid of putting themselves in that situation again. This honestly doesn't just feel like a person that was burned once. This energy feels like somebody, because I know you all hear that a lot, because that's what happens a lot. Most people who are out there in the dating world today have scars on their heart, that we couldn't imagine. But I think this person here has been burned many times, many times. It almost kind of looks to me like they're giving up on love altogether. But they got feelings for you. They absolutely do. They absolutely do. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. They absolutely do. They've just been burned too many times. I don't think they trust anybody. Nobody. They don't trust nobody. This is one of them types of people that goes around proclaiming that all women are 304s. All men are dogs, because they were burned that many times. So they're just going to slap that label on every man or every woman or whatever, That's what this feels like to me. I don't think it has anything to do with you at all. I don't think so. Well, what's the overall outcome of this situation? Overall primary outcome here. Okay. 8 of Wands. Nah, you know what? 5 of Cups reversed. 7 of Pentacles. I do think that you are transitioning on from this. And as soon as you make that decision, the universe is going to show you why it's a good idea for you to transition on from this. I'm thinking that the next person that comes in is going to make you look back on this person and be so thankful that you didn't end up getting stuck with them. Yep, that's going to end up making sense. Yep, it's going to end up making sense. I could easily see by the end of this year, you're looking back on what happened in February and you're saying, oh my God, I'm so glad that I didn't end up getting with that one person that I thought I wanted to be with. I wouldn't be where I am today if I would have got what I thought I wanted. Yup. What's the advice? What is the advice? See, look, anytime you're dealing with somebody that has their guard up, I get it. We've all been hurt. We all have some kind of level of trust issue to one degree or another. Some people, it's mild and not that big of a deal. Some people just do not trust anybody that walks the face of this earth. So the first thing you have to do is see if you can get the person to let their guard down. The only way you can really, truly, ethically get somebody to let their guard down is to show them that you're cool. Like, I'm cool. Like there's no real reason to be guarded with me. I'm a very laid back, cool person. There's no drama that comes along with me. I'm not judgmental. I'm not going to judge you for who you are. I accept you for who you are. I'm not one of those types of people that gets into a relationship and then tries to force you to become somebody else. Shit, man, I'm just looking to get to know you for who you are, and I accept you for who you are, And you have to let that be known and make that very apparent and obvious. And if they still choose to keep their guard up, ain't nothing you can do. Most people, if beyond that point they still choose to keep their guard up, and that means they're dealing with something much, much, much more deep-seated that you can't do anything about. You can't sit around and wait around and hope and wish and wait that they'll wake up and change their mind one day. How often does that happen? Not very often. Whenever somebody makes a solid decision that they don't want to get with somebody, 95% of the time, most people don't change their mind. Even if they do have feelings for you. That's the thing. We'll be looking at the next person that's due to come in at the end of this video. For now, let's look at the person from the past. Let's see if there's any details we missed about the past person Scorpio is inquiring about. Past person. Uh-oh. So this was probably a codependency connection. I think a lot of you dealt with a true codependent. So codependent people always end up getting bored very quickly. A true emotional codependent will end up getting bored because what they're doing is whenever you obtain anything new in your life, anything new, whether it's a new car, a new house, a new job, you make a new friend, or you end up in a new relationship, that in the beginning is going to cause an explosion of pleasure hormones. An explosion. It's that excitement of a new person, you know? A true emotional codependent thinks that is love. And they use that to distract themselves from their loneliness and their heartache. And it's just like an alcoholic getting drunk. It's a very temporary solution, very temporary. So a codependent gets into a relationship and it's explosive in the beginning and you're so happy and whatnot. And then inevitably that feeling kind of starts to wear off over time. Then once it wears off, what are they left with? The frequency they were on when the two of you first connected. Loneliness and brokenness. And they start thinking, well, you're not meeting my needs. Meaning you're not distracting me from my own problems, right? So I'm going to go find somebody who will. Now, I know that not every one of you were left for somebody else, but whether or not that's the way it played out, there was still a lot of codependency energy in this last connection here. And I think that energy is still very, very prevalent, at least in their auric field with the person that you dealt with. They're a lot more heartbroken about this than you know, but I think they're the type of person that just they're like a karmic snowball, you know. They probably had heartbreak that they hadn't healed from long before the two of you even got together. This connection's starting to get kind of weak though. You're getting to the point to where you're not even really feeling the connection as strong as you once did. I think this person wants to talk to you. They just don't know how to approach you. They don't know how to start a conversation with you, but they do want closure. They do want closure. Let's see how they feel about you. Do they miss you? Do they love you? Do they want to get back with you? How do they feel about you at the deepest level? How do they feel about you at the deepest level? Ooh, they're afraid that you're still mad at them. They're afraid you're still pissed off at them. But they still feel a real strong connection with you, though. I think they feel the connection stronger than you do. I think so. But they're afraid you're still mad at them. That's why they're afraid to come forward. Yeah, they miss the good old days when things were good between the two of you. I think they've kind of been waiting on an open door of opportunity to come forward. And they don't see an open door of opportunity to come forward. So they're walking away from this, but they still think about you every day. But I'm not seeing anything indicating a genuine love connection here. And that's usually what happens with codependency relationships. They still feel attached to you, but since their heart was void of love when the two of you first connected, it's still void of love now. So I wouldn't say that they're in actual love with you, but they do still feel very energetically attached to you. Okay. They at least want to be able to get closure, I think, though. Is anything happening? I'm only going to pull a couple of cards for this. I'm not going to pull a whole spread. Any actions happening? Any outcome with this situation? No, I think, like I said, this person is waiting on an open door of opportunity to reach out and come forward. And if they don't see that open door of opportunity, they're not coming forward. Now, what do most people consider to be an open door of opportunity? A weak place, don't they? A place of vulnerability. Especially if you, like, say, for example, if you're the type of person on social media that's always posting like happy stuff or funny stuff or motivational stuff or spiritual stuff, and then all of a sudden, one day out of the clear blue sunshiny sky, you start posting angry shit, boo-hoo shit, you can always tell. You got that one Facebook friend that's always posting happy, uplifting, motivational, or spiritual stuff. And then one day out of nowhere, they start posting angry shit. And you can tell that something bad just happened in their life. And that's when their little comment section gets flooded. That's when their inbox blows up. And that's probably what they're waiting on. But I don't really see that happening anytime soon. I don't see that happening. What's the advice? What is the advice? Ooh, Queen of Swords reversed again. Star card. And the Hierophant. You know what that's all about, right? The Hierophant is the spiritual teacher. Meaning that this particular experience that you had with this person was meant to teach you a very valuable lesson that you are going to need to know when the next person comes in. Not only are you going to need to know it, you're going to need to use it. You're going to need whatever it was you were supposed to learn from this past connection was meant to turn you into the person that is a frequency match to the next person due to come in. So just be very careful if you end up in communication with this person. Be very, very careful. Very careful. Because I think they alone are confused about their own feelings. I think the two of you speak a very different vibrational language. So if you end up in communication with this person, I'll meet you in the middle here somewhere, okay? I'll meet you in the middle. Keep them at a safe, healthy arm's distance. See if you can just form a friendship with them first. Let's just start there. Let's see if we can just be friends. Let me see if I can bring you into my life and just keep a line of communication open. And let's just see if we can talk. You ever do this to an ex? I'm telling you right now, that ex shows up in your inbox or you end up communicating with them. And it seems great. Oh, it seems great. And okay, well, let's see if we can keep this going. I'm going to just keep you here at an arm's distance and see if we can keep our little communication going like this. And then before you know it, that mask falls off. And they end up revealing that they are still the exact same person that you walked away from. All right. And then it's like, oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't try to reconcile with this person. Like I said, it's time for your next soul contract to come in. And this past situation was meant to teach you a very valuable lesson that's going to help you when the next person comes in. So speaking of which, let's take a look at that. Let's see who's due to come in next. Who is due to come in next? Who is due to come in next to Scorpio's life? Any details I missed on the next person coming in? Okay, yep. There's that Nine of Swords there. So this is going to be a situation that's very different than any situation you've ever found yourself in? Yeah, I think you might be questioning whether or not this is too good to be true. And guess who showed up again? The Hierophant, right? What did we just say? What did we just say? You're going to realize that a lot of what you went through in the past was preparing you for this situation here. There's going to be I think there might be a little bit of tension at first when you and this person first connect and you first meet. And I don't think it's because of anything they're doing wrong. I don't think it's because of anything you're doing wrong. I think this is just a whole new cycle. You are unlike anybody they've ever dealt with before. So they don't really know exactly how to handle it. And they are very unlike anybody you've dealt with before. So you're not 100% sure how to handle this and navigate the situation. So, of course, that's going to trigger your defenses and make you a little bit scared. There's no way that the universe actually brought this person into my life. You know, you're sitting there thinking, man, you know what? I know my luck. I know my luck. The minute I let my guard down and let this person in and I let myself fall in love, the minute I give myself permission to fall in love and I give my heart to this person, the universe is going to rip the rug out from under me. And you're scared. You're tripping out. I don't think that's what's going to happen here, though. I think when it comes to all that shit, you've learned everything you needed to learn. You've been through everything that you needed to go through, that taught you every lesson that you needed to learn. I don't think that's due to happen. I don't think so. Let's look at their real energy, their intentions, and their feelings. Let's see. This deck's getting an attitude with me. What's their real, true feelings, energy, and intentions towards you? Next person coming into Scorpio's life. Okay, 3 of Wands in the reverse. I don't know what to say about that yet. Bam, King of Wands in the upright. They ain't playing no games. No, they not. They are not playing games. Absolutely not. Shit. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. I think they want to be able to establish a friendship first. I think nothing is more important to this person than making sure they can be friends with the person that they're with. I think they want to marry their best friend. And like I said, some of you have either never been in a relationship like that before, or if you have been in a relationship like that before, it wasn't quite a dynamic like this. Because so many people, especially insecure people, controlling people, jealous people, you try to do the friend thing in the beginning and it don't work out. It just don't work out. They're too insecure. They're too jealous. They're too controlling to be able to entertain that friendship dynamic, you know? Most people who can't be friends with the person that they're with, it's because they're too broken and too damaged. So some of you have just never really fully experienced what it's really, really like to honestly be with your best friend. And I think that's what this person wants. They don't want no toxicity. They ain't playing games. And I think that they're so serious about this that they're not afraid of being alone. And you can feel that. You can tell. And it's kind of a breath of fresh air. That may sound a little bit paradoxical and counterintuitive, but it is kind of a breath of fresh air whenever you meet somebody who's so sick and tired of playing games that they're not afraid of being alone. because, you know, their vibe is so authentic that you can just feel that they're not fucking playing around with you, you know? Let's see the outcome for the first 30 days. What's happening in the first 30 days? What is happening in the first 30 days? It's going to be a slow transition between the two of you. I've been seeing that a lot. What's going on with February and a slow transition? This death card comes out for almost everybody. Most of the signs that's come out for the month of February for the next person coming in. What's going on with that? Oh, but this connection is getting stronger and stronger and stronger the more time goes on. So it may kind of seem like a slow transition, but it's getting heavy. It is getting heavy. But you're still up in your head, not sure if you're making the right decision, overthinking this, driving yourself crazy. It looks like for the first month, it's pretty slow, but pretty consistent. I'm seeing things move slowly, but consistently. So that's a good thing. Any advice? What advice do we have? Oh, the Ace of Wands, boy. Time for a fresh new start. A fresh new start. So just don't allow for any meaningless, childish, unnecessary drama. You know, don't just don't even allow that energy to creep up between the two of you. You know, two emotionally independent people. Here's one of the reasons why emotional independence is so important. Matter of fact, this just happened in my marriage here very recently over the past couple of weeks. Eventually, at some point, you're going to come to a place in your relationship where you're going through something and you're not emotionally available right now. And at the same time, the person you're with is going through something and they're not emotionally available right now. So what are we going to do when we're both going through our own shit and we really aren't in the position to support each other? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? If I'm dependent on you to support me and be the shoulder I have to lean on to carry me through my bullshit, and you're not available, and then vice versa, you're dependent on me to constantly be there for you, and I'm not available, what are we going to do? If we're emotionally codependent, this is where you're up shit creek without a paddle, ain't you? So here's what we do. One of us says, you know what? Okay, I'm going to go get me right. I'm going to go get me right. And then one of us has to go and get our own vibe right. Once I get myself right and I get myself where I need to be, then I can come assist you and be there for you and support you and whatnot. Or the other way around. Maybe you go get yourself right first and then you come assist me and be there for me and whatnot. So I think that's probably the biggest change in energetic dynamics that you're going to notice in this situation here, is that both of you are very emotionally independent. People get scared when they hear that word independent. Independent doesn't mean alone. Okay. People always hear that word independent and they think that means alone, by yourself. No, it doesn't. Independent means I don't depend. That's all it means. I don't depend on another person. I don't need another person. Does this make sense? You can be married to your life partner and have a huge circle of friends and family, but not depend on them to make you happy. See what I'm saying? Me and my person could both be making damn good money. I could make $500,000 a year. She could make $500,000 a year. Together, we make $1 million. but we don't depend on each other for finances. You know, you could survive just fine without me. I could survive just fine without you. Just because we're independent doesn't mean we do it all by ourselves. And that's the thing that I think, especially in the dating world today, people need to understand about independence. Because in order to actually be a good team, you need to be independent. Especially in a relationship, in order to be a good team, we need to both be emotionally independent. Because we have been so conditioned and programmed to be on a vibration of need. You know, the minute everybody on this planet wakes up and stops needing people, and they get out of that vibration of need and desperation, that's when true, genuine relationships will actually start to form. When two people stop coming together and trying to vampirically suck love from each other, and we're actually coming together with our cups already full. I don't need you, and you don't need me. So you know what that means? That means we can build. We can build because we're already abundant coming together. So now we can build together. I can share what I have with you, and you can share what you have with me. We share it. Whatever the resource is, whether it's just simply love that comes from my heart or finances, whatever it is, we can come together and build. But if I need you for something, then I'm just sucking from you and taking from you and trying to fill an unfillable void, which inevitably spirals out of control every single fucking time. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, I didn't have a really solid landing point with that, but I know at least one person needed to hear that. All right. Well, I feel like those were all the messages that my Scorpio friends needed to hear. So I am going to go ahead and end this reading here. Thank you all once again for tuning in and playing along. So I have an announcement to make for those of you who are just now tuning in. I announced this at the beginning of the video. I just released my new course in my School of Self-Mastery, the part 2 to how to read the tarot, the intuitive guide. Now, for those of you who bought the first tarot reading course, check your email because you were sent a special code that you can use to get 15% off of the newest course that's available. So the first course was mainly centered around the meaning of the cards. And the meanings of the cards are only about 25% of the whole tarot reading process. The most important part when it comes to reading tarot is the intuitive guide. You being able to actually develop your own unique style, being able to come into it with confidence and relax and develop a relationship with the deck, with yourself, with your higher self and your intuition, and connecting with your audience or your clients and just basically doing it with confidence so that you can actually use these things to genuinely help somebody through some of the toughest situations in their life and actually guide people down a timeline where they see positive results in their life. All right. All that information is down in the description of this video. It's all on my website, tarotwithrich.com. That's all down there. All right, I'm out of here now, y'all. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Stay blessed.